the game between Barcelona and Real Mallorca. And Mallorca are up already, the 8th minute of the game. And a quick diversion to the Barcelona game before we come back to the Manchester United game. And a quick update, Juventus halftime, 0-0, Juventus versus Lecce is 0-0. And looking at it, Barcelona conceded 2 goals in the weekend. Now, 8 minutes, they are 1-0 down. What do you think is happening?
Well, the Barcelona is like it's a team in
transition,
in process. There's a lot of transition going on.
Yeah.
Xavi is bringing up his philosophy, and gradually they are understanding it. In fact, Barcelona is one of those teams you need to watch out for this season. You understand what I'm saying? Because their persistence, even against Celta Vigo, after 2 goals down, for them to score 3 goals in 10 minutes. In 9 minutes. In 9 minutes.
9 minutes.
That's to tell you how good they are. So for me, I'm not worried. I'm not bothered that Mallorca started scoring. He's still in the first half. Barcelona will still bounce back.
No,
they have what it takes.
I'm actually worried because you're looking at the team that conceded less than 20 goals last season, and now you're conceding a lot of goals, and you're backing up coming back in games. It's actually not the best. Dangerous. It's not actually the best for a big team like Barcelona. And you're looking at the team. Yes, we can agree they're in transition, but the players they've actually brought into the season, they are actually experienced players. I think Xavi needs to work very much on that defense. They are leaking a lot of goals. That was actually a defensive error from Testegen and the defenders there. That shouldn't be happening. And that is one of the problems you have when you're playing from the back. And that is what cost them that goal. So let's just see how much they can actually come back into the game. But it needs to work on it. You have to score. You have to put yourself in position of winning, not you coming back from losing to winning games. It's actually going to haunt you one day because it will give teams you're playing against, it will give them the confidence level that they can score against Barcelona. They will come in with that lot of confidence that they can play their own pattern of game against Barcelona. It's about them scoring and not allowing Barcelona to score back against them. And it's going to affect them. It's going to hit them very much if they are keeping on to this. You're talking about a team that did concede 20 goals last season. We're actually praising them for that.
Yeah,
but this season now, very early into the game, very early into the league, you start chipping goals.
They've conceded 7 goals.
7 goals already in less than 10 games. When you play against a team like Atletico Madrid that concede little goals, when Atletico Madrid score one goal in the first half or 2 goals in the first half, they close the shop.
Yeah.
How do you want to come back against those teams? So they need to start working on them scoring very early or not conceding goals, but you winning from the winnable position. That is very much important for you, and that is the fear factor a team like Real Madrid brings to the game.
Yeah, and the goal was scored by Muriki in the 8th minute of the game. The gaffer, your take, because some teams can be so well defensively organized that when they score you one, you can't find a way back. So, don't you think Xavi has a big problem at his hands?
To me, football is about 3 points.
Yeah.
You understand? About 3 points. As for now, they are getting the 3 points. And I also know they are also in the building process. The 5-0, 2 clean sheets with much goal. It was Celta Vigo that scored twice against them, and Mallorca also scored. We see a lot of players that are in Barcelona now. They were not in Barcelona last season. Yeah. So there's gradually, there's a gradual, change of pattern. Yeah. And if you look at it, Xavi is not playing tiki-taka any longer. You understand? He's playing more of an attacking football. You understand what I'm saying? He's playing more of an attacking open football. You score me, I score you, I get my 3 points. Well, I know it will be dangerous because you meet some bigger teams, they score you.
And that was a flat pass from Rafinha to Ferran Torres couldn't take a hold of the ball right there. And back to Barcelona trying to open up the defense of Mallorca because they really need to come back into this game if they want to keep their lead on the La Liga table right now because they're actually topping the table right now. And in the 43rd minute of the game between Manchester United and Crystal Palace, Manchester United still 2-0 up. And since after the goal, the game has been played mainly in the midfield, Shegun. Do you think Manchester United is settling down to just
yeah, they actually
run
settling
down
down
the
because 2-0 up, you have the game in your pocket, you are controlling the game, you are not in a rush to score, and that is what Manchester United is doing. I don't really expect Crystal Palace to be settling or soaking pressure how much they are actually doing, because they've actually been playing more in their own half than coming into the Manchester United half. Though they might actually be careful of themselves, because they know that if they should come out en masse, Manchester United will eat them on the counter. But this is still a game that is still winnable. You can still make a comeback in the game. It's just 2-0. So I actually expect Crystal Palace to come out. But I've not really seen that bite from them in this first half. They are missing that bite, and that confidence is actually low in this Crystal Palace squad. They are really scared. They are playing with a lot of respect for Manchester United, which is not supposed to be when you are playing in a cup like this. It's everything to lose. So just come out and play against Manchester United. That is what is actually missing from them.
Pressed the clause, but it was blocked for a corner kick to Manchester United. And Manchester United just won another corner kick.
You have to give it to Palestri. This is a player. He's not a 100 million pounds player, but he has actually given a good account of himself since coming in for Anthony in this squad. And another player I've actually been impressed with today is the former. Another player I've actually been impressed with in this game is the former captain, talking about Maguire. He has actually been tidy at the back today.
And his Mason Mount corner. Puts it in the box, but it was well headed out by the Crystal Palace defender.
So I've actually been impressed with Maguire in the first half. He has been tidy at the back, for a player who has gone through a lot of moments, someone that a lot of controversies around him, a lot of fans believing that he's not actually.
Pass back to Mount. Mount sent the cross into the box, but the keeper Johnson had to save that. Still back into the box. Marshall away 1-0. Now another corner kick in favor of Manchester United.
And you can see the way Mason Mount is playing today, with a lot of joy, a lot of fun.
Exciting.
He's into the game very much. And that is the Mason Mount we used to know at Chelsea. Though last season wasn't actually his best season at Chelsea, but that is the Mason Mount we used to know when he plays for in the Chelsea colours. I just want him to get those goals so he can get back into the mojo, get back into the confidence that he used to play with. That goal is very much important for him, and I just hope he gets it here today.
And another Mason Mount corner. What can he do? Stand behind the ball, raise his hand, put the corner to the outside box. And Dallo was there to play the shot, but well blocked for a throw-in in favor of Manchester United. And in the game between Real Mallorca and Barcelona, 15th minute of the game, it's still 1-0 in favor of Real Mallorca. Goal scored at the 8th minute. And Real Mallorca just won another corner kick. It seems Real Mallorca is not holding back. They want to score more goals, the gaffer.
Oh, yeah, of course, they are here for business. Looking at right now as it stands, if not because of this goal, now Barcelona was already topping the group. After they won against Celta Vigo.
And we have 5 minutes additional time in the game between Manchester United and Crystal Palace. 1 minute already gone. We are in the 2nd minute. You can continue.
Right. Barcelona is already sitting top of the table, not because of this. But even with that, they will still be top of the table. And Mallorca is just top of the relegation zone, 15. And they need to fight so that they can get out of that zone. And who else? They can use Barcelona to get their name. But it is not over yet.
You're Barcelona.
You're
Barcelona. You need to know who you are supporting.
We need to know.
You can't be the
you
only
need
one
to come out of
Arsenal.
that shell.
You can't be the only one supporting Arsenal. You can't be the only one supporting Barcelona and every other team.
No. I'm telling you, that's my own mind.
Maybe you are supporting Chelsea this season also.
Yes, of course. I'm supporting Chelsea. I'm supporting Chelsea.
All right.
So how many teams are you supporting in total?
No. I support, for instance, now, I'm not like me, I told you before. I don't have a permanent team that this is my team.
Okay.
I love good football. When I see a team playing good football, I support. Probably I can. Okay, what about if you say I'm supporting Barcelona and Chelsea? Chelsea and Barcelona.
That was an ash tackle on Amrabat that just came back from injury. And I think there should be a caution there. But I think
he got the ball first. He got the ball,
but there was an infringement.
No, there shouldn't be a yellow card. At times you have to be careful the way you look at what players actually do and the way they actually those theatric reactions from players. you have to be very much careful because when you look at that, it wasn't really a big hit.
big deal,
But you look at the way Amrabat actually
turned around
and
that.
those are the things I look at. Like, I just hope players will be able to make it to heaven if heaven is actually real. Because you know what they actually do when they have just more contact and the way they roll on the floor.
It's called one of the things. It's called tricks of the game. It's just part of the
it's in every business and it's in every game.
Yes.
It happens.
I
remember in the
at the right back, set a pass to Aleni and straight back to Maguire to Casemiro, Maguire back to Amrabat. Amrabat received the ball, set the pass straight to the left-hand side of the Garnacho. He's not looking more or less that Manchester United wants to go half-time with this 2-0.
Yeah, it's looking likely they'll go to the half-time with this 2-0. When you're 2-0 up, a lot of less frustration and you're playing at your own pace, not at your opponent's pace anymore. So that is what Manchester United have done. That is what we expect of big teams, get the goals very early in the game and just settle in and force the opponent out against you. So that is what Manchester United have done very early in this game, and that is what we expect them to actually be bringing into the league. Because look at the caliber of players in this Manchester United squad. These are players, world beaters and players who are capable of starting in the very best of teams. So
in the world,
you ask yourself, why are they struggling to get goals? Why are they struggling to play more attacking football against less opponents? Yeah. So the goals are very much important, and that is when you look at it. When Manchester United scored, when they happen not to score, the frustration is always seen on them. So, scoring 2 goals in the first half has actually been good for them. And you can see them, enjoying their football, playing around the pitch, not in a hurry, not feeling pressure to actually go front and score goals. So it has actually been very good for them in the first half. And I expect them to go all the way in this first half with this 2-0. And we'll see more goals in the second half.
Yeah, Shagun said he's expecting them to keep the 2-0. And it's the last minute of additional time already in the first half. And anytime from now, the referee might end the game. That was a match break. He couldn't get the Manchester United player in the box. And it's halftime at the Theatre of Dreams in this round of 16 tie between Manchester United and Crystal Palace. It's Manchester United 2, Crystal Palace 0 at halftime. It was Manchester United that drew the first blood and the second blood. The first goal was coming from Garnacho, while the second goal came in from Casemiro, who has been a really big addition since he came last season. And to the game between Real Mallorca versus Barcelona is the 20th minute of the game. Real Mallorca still leading a goal to nil. And it seems that they are not holding back. They want to keep Barcelona at the back foot, Shegu.
Anybody who knows Real Mallorca right from the early stage of Real Mallorca, talking about the early 2000s when Samuel Eto'o was still in Real Mallorca, you know that this team is a spoiler. Because I remember watching Real Mallorca against Real Madrid in the early 2003, 2004, 2005. This is a team that they are not scared of scoring against the big teams. Yes, they might struggle in the league, but playing against Barcelona and Atletico Madrid and Real Madrid is not really a big problem for them. They want to give their fans something to cheer up for, and they come to the party against the big teams. And that is like you have a team that's a spoiler. At the end of the day, probably it might be a game that Barcelona might actually get to come back and play a draw. But we've not really seen much from João Felix in this game. Like, he has actually been playing since he joined his boyhood club, talking about Barcelona. He has actually been a part of the attacking flow of play for Barcelona. Yeah. But let's see if he can actually come back into this game. And you have to look at the stadium. It's not really looking that much LD for a big match like this. Yeah. And that is one of the things that have effect on the way football is being played by teams. Because players have to be very much careful. Yes, the top is always very much important. So the players will have to be very much careful because they know the number of games they have coming forward. There's still the league on Saturday. There's Champions League next week, so they have to be very much careful. But this is a game I expect Barcelona to come back in the second half and probably get at least a draw in this encounter. And to the Manchester United game, you have to give it up for Amrabat and Casemiro. They've actually shown in the first half they've dominated the midfield battle. And I'm very sure Eric Ten Hag will actually be very much happy because that is what he wants, the experience, the tenacity, the runnings from these two players. They've been full of running, and they've kept everything tidy in the midfield. And, it's looking very good for Manchester United going into the league and going into the league proper and going into the Champions League proper. I'm very sure the coach, Eric Ten Hag, will actually be very much happy for what happened in the first half.
Yeah, Shegun said the coach will be happy with Ten Hag actually will be happy with Manchester United's performance in the first half. We'll still get back to Manchester United. Now, the gaffer looking at Mallorca, Barcelona. Do you see a way back for Barcelona this first
Barcelona
half?
is going to win this match. Barcelona is going to win this match today. Despite the fact they go down, we know Mallorca to be resilient, but the Barcelona I know, they have actually picked form, and I know they are going to defeat Mallorca at the end of this. This is just first half. Let's keep watching. I'm very sure before the match, and they are going to win this match today. That is what I think. That is what I see. Barcelona have actually picked form. What they are playing right now, it is, any team that want to meet them should get prepared. Any team that want to meet Barcelona should get prepared. This match, the way it is going, just watch out. That's my prediction.
Yeah. The gaffer said his prediction is for you to watch out. Yeah. Actually, since the beginning of the game, we are watching out for what the teams will come up with. And Real Mallorca started with a 5-4-1 formation with Rajkovic in goal, Gonzalez on the right, Vigent, Nastasic and Kupiti centre-back, flat 3 defenders centre-back, and Mafeo on the left. Muriqi, the goal scorer, on the left-hand side of the midfield, Rodriguez on the right-hand side, Samo and Sanchez centre midfield pairing, leaving Pratt in front of goal for a centre forward. And for Barcelona, we have 4-3-3 formation. We have Ter Stegen in goal, Balde left-hand side of the defense. We have Cancelo on the right-hand side of the defense. We have Araujo and Martinez centre-back pairing. We have Gavi, Romeu, and Hondogan, 3 flat midfield. And João Felix, Ferran Torres, and Rafinha, 3 flat attack. And we can't see Lewandowski in this starting 11. Shagu, do you think Barcelona is missing? Some people call him Omolewa. Well, some will call him Lewy. And some will simply call him Lewandowski.
You have to look at what Lewandowski actually brings to the squad. A lot of goals and experience. So there's no way you are not starting a player like Lewandowski and you won't be missing him up front. They're actually missing him, and that's why we've not seen that big bite from Barcelona up front. Starting with Ferran Torres, who hasn't really been living up to expectation. It's not there's not that fear factor is not there whenever you're starting with a player like Ferran Torres up front. It's a different ball game between him starting or with Lewandowski starting. I think probably in the second half, if they struggle to score in the first half. By second half, I expect Xavi to actually throw in Lewandowski into the game if he's on the bench for Barcelona today. But at times you have to look at it, the aging. A 35 years old player, you don't expect him to play a lot of games for a striker.
Games,
the age is telling, and the body will actually call for rest. So you have to manage this type of players, and probably let's see if he'll be coming into the game in the second half. Because if this game should drag on at 1-0 for first half, Xavi will actually have to do everything possible early on in the second half to get back into this game. Ferran Torres hasn't lived up to his expectations in this first half. He hasn't given them that bite up front. We've not really seen that presence and combination between him and the wingers. We saw when Lewandowski plays with João Felix and Rafinha, the presence is felt, the movement, the way he moves up front, the way he gets involved in the game is actually felt.
Get into position.
Yes, get into positions. That has actually been missed in this game. So let's just hope by second half, if this game is drag on at 1-0, probably Xavi will have to bring in or introduce a player like Lewandowski to get the goals.
Yeah, they say desperate times requires desperate measures. So, according to what Shogun said, if Xavi becomes desperate, he will have no choice than to introduce their talisman and goal puncher, Robert Lewandowski. Well, it's 28 minutes of the game between Mallorca and FC Barcelona. Mallorca still leading 1-0, courtesy a goal scored by Muriqi in the 8th minute of the game. And there's one thing I know about early goals. It destabilizes the opponent. Do you think the gaffer that has affected Barcelona the way they have been playing this first half?
No, I don't think so. Barcelona, they are, this is not the first time they will be a goal down or 2 goals down and then for them to come back. They are a big team. I think they've seen so many things when it comes to football. Sometimes even 2-0, they'll come back, equalize, and even win. So I don't think that goal is enough to destabilize them. If 2 goals cannot destabilize them, I don't think 1 goal can destabilize them. So I see them coming back to fight because they have what it takes to fight back. Look at the bench. But probably before the end of this first half, probably they will equalize. And if you also look at the rich, bench they have, you know that
we can see camera staring at Lewandowski's face.
Yeah.
Looking like it seems these guys
Alonso also
services will be needed.
Yeah. So talking about Barcelona, you know that because of their financial issue, they were not able to buy players as such. Yeah. They have to go for player who was on free. And players who are not so expensive, and they have to depend on the academy. You know, so I'm saying to get players, but still with what they've gathered so far, they've been able to raise their team to a certain level, and to me they are doing well. And I still believe they can come back from this 1 goal down.
Yeah, the gaffer feels Barcelona can still come back. Well, in football, anything can happen because actually it's like biscuit. But it has cracked in a place at Real Mallorca, leading a goal to nil. It first cracked at the 8th minute. And it has cracked twice at the Manchester United game. 2-0 to Manchester United. Goes from Garnacho and Casemiro. We'll go for a very short break. And when we get back, it will be the second half feat of the Manchester United Crystal Palace game. Please stay with us. We'll be right back. For the second half live feed of our watch along show of the Manchester United Crystal Palace game. It's been an exciting fixture so far, with Manchester United having the fair share of the possession in the first half, and they're also leading in the fixture 2 goals to 0. Quick rollout of the start. Expected goal ratio was 0.55 for Manchester United and 0.00 for Crystal Palace.
You can see even the stats are not expecting Crystal Palace to get a goal in this game.
Yeah.
It's actually a weak starting 11 from them, so even me myself, I'm not really expecting any goal from them in this game. Manchester United has dominated this game.
So this is more or less like a one-sided fixture?
Yeah, it's actually a one-sided fixture. Wow. You have to agree to that.
And even the ball possession is 69%.
Only if the gaffer has another opinion, because I know him to always be on the other side.
Yeah, sometimes we can actually spice up the conversation. And we have 6 goal attempts from Manchester United, none for Crystal Palace. I don't think there's much to even talk about, rather than just say it has been a game dominated from beginning to the end dominated by Manchester United. Well, no substitutions so far, except for the one Crystal Palace.
I think we saw Lindelof coming in.
Okay. I think, Lindelof came in for missing Mount. I hope that's not an injury.
Hope that is not an injury.
I just sincerely hope. And we saw Saki being withdrawn for Gueye. One of the starters for Crystal. And that's a pass to Ferran Torres, but he missed that one-on-one chance for Barcelona. And in that game, it's still 39th minute. Barcelona still 1-0 down. A lot of bookies, those who are Christians will start holding their Bible. Maybe might be praying that Barcelona should.
These are the kind of chances Lewandowski don't miss.
No one can miss chances. Chances.
He missed, but not like this.
Probably
if he was the one who would have scored, because chances like that, he hardly missed it.
Yeah, we have seen Lewandowski to be a proven goal scorer. Well, it's the 49th minute of the game between Manchester United, Crystal Palace. Manchester United leading 2 goals to 0 already. And we look at this game, and coming into this game, we felt, it might be a difficult game for Manchester United. Maybe it is easy because of the starting 11 of Crystal Palace.
I don't really expect a hard game for Manchester United. Since I saw the starting 11, I know it's actually going to be a game Manchester United will overrun Crystal Palace. And I wasn't actually mistaken, because that starting level isn't the strong starting level you expect from a Crystal Palace. Even the strong starting level will find it hard to play against this Manchester United squad. Talk more of this weak squad starting level against Manchester United. So I don't really expect much from them. That's why it has actually been a game that Manchester United have dominated. Let's just see. I just hope that Mr. Mount substitution is a precautional one, because there's no point in you using Mr. Mount for 90 minutes. A player who is just coming back from injury. Looking at you still have a lot of games to play. There's the weekend in focus, and you have to look at the possibility of using more on the wing for the young Palestri, since Anthony is out. So I think that should be a precautional substitution, taking out Mr. Mount in that game, because they've got this game covered. And you can see them. I'm very sure even Manchester United fans will be so much happy, because they've actually dominated play 100%. It has been Manchester United every time.
Not actually 100%, but
no, it should be 100%, because we've not really seen much from Crystal Palace. Yeah. They've actually kept them at the back foot in this game. They've not actually. When you play for 50 minutes and you are yet to muster out a shot on target or a shot in the game,
and that is a goal.
And that
Barcelona.
It is an equalizer from Rafinha for Barcelona. You can see the way the gaffer reacted. It seems something is going through something. We know him to be a good bookie, and he predicts football.
We've actually seen a new Rafinha since coming back from that red card. The competition Yamal has actually given him has actually spurred him up. You know,
Yeah, to
we've
raise
actually
his game.
seen he has actually raised this game. You know, this is a different Rafinha from last season when he was settling into Barcelona, and that is what competitions actually bring to players.
And that was a good shot.
That was a good shot
from
from
the
him, yes,
outside
from
box.
the outside
Around 25 yards. He played the shot to the right-hand side of the goalkeeper, but the goalkeeper had no answer to that. That was a
anybody
good
who knows Rafinha from EPL will know that he always fancied this kind of shots,
Yeah,
you know,
shots,
taking those hits from outside. So it's good one from him, good goal from him. You know, these are the kind of games.
Yeah,
these are the
turning
kind of
up
goals
when
that,
the team needs
yes,
him
when they
and
need
he
him
will.
very much most. And when you look at it, that is why you get, you know, wingers who can act. Oh God. When I look at it, Chelsea and the way they play anti-football.
Point of correction, our Chelsea.
I'm a Manchester City fan. When I look at Chelsea, the way they play anti-football.
Where is your ID? Where is your ticket? Where's
we
your
know
ID
you
card?
to be a Chelsea fan.
I'll bring it
You have
back
not
next match.
you have not been
And
accepted.
a quick update to our viewers. You can join the conversation via the live chat on our YouTube channel, or you can call in on our phone numbers in front of your screen. +23490 304 999 and 17. I call it again. +234 90 304 999 17. Yeah, you can join us. It's been an interesting game so far. No pressure. You can see there's no heat in the studio. The pressure in the games is not that much.
By the time we get into tomorrow's fixtures,
yeah, the pressure will start
pouring.
That's when our brother from US will call us tomorrow.
Our viewer, our regular viewer.
Our brother from US will call us tomorrow and say, "Oh, Shagun, yeah, this year, this is Chelsea." We'll open the book of Lamentations tomorrow. We'll be here in the studio.
You know,
our football has a way of surprising.
Not Chelsea.
Not Chelsea. Well, it's 1-1 in the game between Barcelona, Real Mallorca, and FC Barcelona, and it's the 44th minute of that game right there. It's been a game dominated by Barcelona so far, playing their silky way, expressive and expansive football, trying to use the wings and expanding the ball, coming to the middle, expanding to the wings again. And that was a good cross, but it went way off target. A cross coming in from Rafinha. And the gaffer, you want to say something?
I wanted to talk about Manchester United. That's an observation I made. You know, the inclusion of Hannibal has actually brought balance to the Manchester United midfield. You know, the midfield is where they were having problem before. You know, now we have seen Amrabat, and we can see how easy they are to control the midfield today. There's no more pressure on them. Yeah. They are so relaxed. Amrabat is there, Casemiro is there, and you know, Hannibal too. Yeah. You know, making it.
And that's 1-1 for Rafinha.
Oh!
And he skyrocketed that.
I can see Lewandowski.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have to motivate the boys. You know,
oh
good
my
pass
goodness,
from the goalkeeper there.
That was a good pass. A good
no,
flick.
that was actually a wrong pass.
A wrong pass. Ferran Torres dropped the pass to Rafinha.
No, he did everything right. Just that ballooning. He did everything right. He already moved himself.
And he could have easily sent the goalkeeper the wrong way because he was standing at a strong foot, which is his left foot.
It's actually full of shots.
Yeah. And we can see Manchester United still passing the ball around. A cross into the box, but it was blocked. And Casemiro with the ball, crossed the ball, and the ball. Made it 3 for Manchester United. I think Manchester United are in cruise control.
Yeah, they're in cruise control, you know. I mean, that's what you get from Anthony Martial. Though he hasn't lived up to expectations since joining Manchester United. But you see this one-on-one of a team, or let's say it about Anthony Martial. He's one of those one of those dangerous players. You know, he has that tenacity and that bite when it comes to one-on-one situation. He doesn't lose it. But every other team might actually be wrong about Anthony Martial, but not in a one-on-one situation. And that is what we got there. This is what he actually brings into it. Fantastic goal from him. All I just need from him is consistency. He's a fantastic player, no doubt.
Look
but
at
that consistency has actually been his issue. That's a good take. You know, a striker, a caliber. As in, when you talk about a big player take, that is what you got from Anthony Martial here. Oh, fantastic
When
finish from
nobody's
him,
with him, from his left foot.
fantastic finish from that. From that
And
young
let's
man.
talk about Casemiro. A goal and an assist in this game so far. Out of the 3 goals Manchester
You know,
United
he has actually
scored.
played with a lot of freedom in this game because he's not doing much of defensive work.
Yeah,
It
because
reminds
of
me of
Amrabat.
a certain what's it called, Kante, when Chelsea had a fantastic pivot pairing for him
of Jorginho
because Kante was actually given that freedom to go to
move,
barrage up front, you know, get amongst the goals, run around the pitch, and that is what we are getting from Casemiro today.
Yeah.
Now they have a fantastic defensive midfielder pairing in Amrabat.
And Barcelona has a corner kick.
This is that
has
goal
a
almost scored by
corner
João Felix.
And they're about to bring the ball into the box. I think Rondogan standing behind that. And the referee having a word with the Mallorca player. And the corner kick is about to be taken. And he plays it into the box. Can anybody collect? Oh! The keeper came out. And I don't think there was any touch. And
that's a good
that was going to be a goal kick. Well, it's still 1-1. 3 minutes in the 3rd minute of additional time out of, I think, 5 minutes additional time in the first half of the game between Real Mallorca and Barcelona. Real Mallorca won, a goal scored in the 8th minute, and Barcelona won in the fixture. Well, let's talk about the game between Juventus and Lecce. Juventus leading a goal to nil, 75th minute of the game. I know many bookies.
And we have a second goal in the game between.
Real Mallorca just made it
2. Wow.
Just made it 2.
2 against Ter Stegen. What is happening to Ter Stegen today? What is happening? Why would he allow such a goal? You know, the first goal was his fault. You know,
it was not fault for the fault.
Yeah, he did the wrong passing. And let's see the second one. What actually happened? And Mallorca leads again.
Mallorca.
And you can see Eze warming up.
There's no point in you bringing Eze in. I think all things should have actually looked at this game as a game that is gone. You don't have to risk your big players in this type of fixture. So you bringing him at
oh my goodness. The keeper, I think he didn't cover well.
I think this is the second time we're seeing this goalkeeper with this long input ball. Because that was what we saw him trying to do. Oh, that was actually a good goal for them.
I think the goalkeeper
I can't really blame but his covering was actually wrong there. He should have actually made himself bigger there.
Yeah, bigger there.
He actually made himself
rather than bending.
Yes, rather than bending. Yeah. So I don't really 100% I won't blame him for that for considering that. But you know, Barcelona knows how to come back. It should have been a different ball game.
You know, we were talking about conceding goals. Now they've conceded 2 goals in 2 matches. That is like passing the wrong message to your next opponent that they can actually score against you. Don't you think Barcelona should be thinking twice about setting up their defense, the gaffer?
Of course, you know, the defensive team always win trophies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like Ferguson will say. Yeah. He say your attack will win you games and your defense will win you competitions.
With all the striking powers they have, and they have good midfield also, their defense can just rubbish them if they don't do it very well. Yeah. So I think with the goals they conceded so far, it should be pointing a signal to Xavi that it's time for him to rebuild a very strong
well defended.
To rebuild a very strong defense for Barcelona.
Yeah.
Or else sometimes after they concede goal, it will be very difficult for them to equalize. It's not every team you be 2 goals down and you can come and equalize easily. You understand? They will go back and close shop, close everywhere. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. And so the earlier the better for Barcelona.
Yeah, the earlier the better for Barcelona. I would like to have your take on that, Shegun, because see, when teams ship in goals, I think the coach should be worried. What do you think?
Yeah, defensively they have to be worried, you know, considering this number of goals earlier on into the season. Is actually
now they've considered 8.
8 goals. You know, talking about a team that considered less than 20 goals last season, now you've considered 8 goals in less than 10 games into the season. It speaks a lot about the defensive duties of Barcelona. I think Xavi needs a lot of work in that defense. He needs to make up his mind.
And we can see a substitution. Varane Evans coming in for Varane and Gore coming in for Amrabat in the game between Manchester United and
good first
Crystal
game, first start for Amrabat today. He has actually given a good account of himself, and I think the fans needs to know that there's still more to come from this Moroccan player. You know, we saw him at the World Cup, gave a good account of himself at the World Cup also. Yeah. So there's a lot of expectations on his neck. Coming back to the Barcelona games, I think this is the time Xavi needs to work on that central defensive pairing. Who is going to be your preferred defensive centre backs? And you know, you have to look at it in the midfield this season. They lost Sergio Busquets, who has actually been a main star, in the starting 11. He has actually been the pivot and done most of the defensive to the midfield work for Barcelona. But this season they are without him, so probably that might have actually been one of the reasons why they are considering lot of goals this season. But he needs to actually make up his mind and knows who his defensive centre back is going to be. Look at that second goal. That was a defensive error from Barcelona because they opened up for a center move like that, which shouldn't be happening for a big team like Barcelona. When you play against the big team like Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid or Sevilla, they'll actually punish you for mistakes like this. So the earlier he actually get that work done is very much important for him.
Now, do you see a way back for them?
This season or in this game?
In this game.
Probably in this game, they'll come back in this game, but this game might actually be ending a draw to me. That is what I'm saying. This game might actually be ending a draw rather than
the Gaffer, do you see
Barcelona win this game today?
You feel Barca will
win the game.
Well, the Gaffer say Barca will win. Shagun said it looks more like a fixture bound for a full-time draw. But only time will tell. Stick with us here, and you will keep getting the live update. Yes, some pigeon guys will say as it hot or as it go. Well, the 63rd minute of the game between Lille and Reims. Reims leading 2-0 in that fixture. 80th minute of the game between Juventus and Lecce. Juventus leading 1-0. A goal scored by Milik in the early times of the second half. And Salzburg leading 1-0 in their cup fixture. It's half time in the game between Mallorca and FC Barcelona, and Mallorca leading 2-1. The Gaffer would have been saying, wow, a winning for Mallorca would have been sweet at this point, because we know him to be a risk taker and a bookie, certified bookie of that matter. Yes, a quick readout of some of the results so far. Some of the live results coming up, not the final result though. 82nd minute of the game, Bradford City, Middlesbrough, 2-0 in favor of Middlesbrough. Exeter Luton still 0-0. Ipswich Wolves 3-2 in favor of Ipswich. And Peterborough leading 2-1 away from home to Mansfield. Port Vale and Sutton 1-1. Salford and Burnley leading that fixture 3-0. Manchester United leading 3-0 against Crystal Palace, and that one is at the 64th minute of the game. Manchester United just cruising. It's as if Manchester United is in the training section.
Yeah, they're home and dry in this game already. 3-0 in the 63rd minute. I don't expect any catapulting from Manchester United in this game. So it's a game they've got this on. That is why they are taking their time. And you can see the substitution from Eric Ten Hag, brought in a lot of fresh legs to actually keep this game lively for Manchester United and not, overwork some of these players. I expect Amrabat to be starting on Saturday against this same Crystal Palace. And Maguire has also given a good account of himself in this game. That is the Maguire Manchester United fans want to see. Though I don't really think they'll actually be trusting him very much. And the standing captain today talking about Varane, he has actually given a good account of himself. Everybody in this Manchester,
and he has been withdrawn for Evans.
Yeah, for Evans. Everybody in this Manchester United starting 11 has actually given a good account of themselves today. And I think it should be a needed worry headache for Eric Ten Hag going into the weekend, because he'll be looking at starting some of these players.
But do you think that should be more of an headache against a second fringe side of Crystal Palace?
Well, it's football is football. Just like the way we were talking about it when Nigeria played against Sao Tome. no matter the opponent, they can
But
always
we
be,
saw that after the ranking, it had no effect.
They can be shocker in games, you know.
Yeah.
So that is what you have to actually. That's why you actually have to bring your A game into fixtures. There are some players who are here who have actually given a good account of themselves, who I expect to actually lay claims to starting 11 or give Eric Ten Hag, a very big headache. Though I'm very much disappointed he didn't trust the second choice goalkeeper. If you're not trusting your second choice goalkeeper in a game in the Carabao Cup, then when are you going to trust him? He's a young goalkeeper they got from Fenerbahce, and I expected him starting today instead of Andre Onana. Though there's still very lot of time, we might actually bring him into this game to have a feel of what it takes to play first-team football for Manchester United, because that is the goalkeeper they are going to trust when it comes to January, when Andre Onana goes to the AFCON. So this is the time your staff to give him those fixtures and let him start feeling
Andre Onana, I don't think he's back.
He's back with the Cameroon.
He's back. I think that manager has gone now.
No, it's still a better song,
And
it's a family work. It's a family conflict. Family. There's always a family feud, and at the end of the day, you have to settle your differences.
But on the other hand, you don't have to look at the hand trying to give Onana more chance to play, because Onana has not really been the top goalkeeper we used to know. You understand? He himself has not actually fit in as the first choice goalkeeper, because he has conceded so many goals. Unlike we know Man United, when the gear was there. So probably Ten Hag is trying to give him that chance so that he can sit comfortably well and gel with the team very well before we begin to think about the
Carabao Cup or not.
And Matters Arising says that he is so happy for Ten Hag. You can join in on the conversation via live chat. Hit us up, let us know your take on this fixture. Let's see your take on the ongoing fixture between Manchester United and Crystal Palace, and maybe your own view of the Mallorca-Barcelona game will make some sense too. And it seems like Manchester United are just trying to run down the clock. If possible, they'll fast forward the time.
Yeah, this is over already. So it's just about when will the final.
That
was a good.
And that was a good save.
That's a good save. I think that would be a very good one for his image if he can keep another clean sheet.
Yeah.
He kept a clean sheet against Burnley. If he can keep another clean sheet here, it would be good for him. I think that would have been a goal. But I don't know why he always liked going with his leg as a goalkeeper.
No, at that point he couldn't use his hand. He just had to react.
This was what I was actually missing in the Crystal Palace team in the first half. See that pass from Eberechi.
He has brought a bite into it.
He brought that bite. That was a good pass from him. And that shows the experience in this young man. And that is one of the reasons why England actually capped him ahead of Nigeria. See what he brought there. See that pass from Mateta, sorry. That was actually a good pass from Eberechi. We didn't see those bites from Crystal Palace in the first half, and unfortunately,
Manchester United
they actually brought him in the wrong time to for things to happen, because I don't really see them coming back into this game. It's actually going to end in probably a 4-0 victory for Manchester United in this game, because there's still more goals to come in this game, but I don't really see that goal coming from Crystal Palace at all.
Well, Shogun said he still thinks there will still be more goals in this game. Well, maybe or maybe not, only time will tell. As of now, it's the 69th minute. We are going into the 70th minute already of the game between Manchester United and Crystal Palace. So 70 minutes, 3-0 in the 70th minute in favor of Manchester United. Goal scored by Garnacho in the first half, and Casemiro with the second goal. And Marshall came through for the third goal. Now, the gaffer, looking at Casemiro, he has scored a goal, made another assist in this game. And we have seen the consistency. Even from the Bayern game, he got a goal. He has been consistent with goal scoring from last season, and he knows how to score important goals. Now, how big of an impact has it been for Manchester United since he came? I think this is Van de Beek trying to have a taste of the action, being brought on for Hannibal.
And you can see the ovation for Hannibal. They are so happy with what he has played so far. I said this guy inclusion into Manchester United is making serious impact, and you can see the fans, they felt it. and they appreciate what he has brought to the team. Talking about Casemiro, Casemiro is one of a kind player that sometimes I don't know how to describe him, but at a certain point in time.
Wow!
And that was a good save from Justin, from an header from a Manchester United goalkeeper. Johnston, Sam Johnston. That was a good header from the Manchester United player. The cross came in, and that was Evans, and a bullet header, but the goalkeeper was there to save it and also save the rebound. That was good reflex from that goalkeeper.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good reflex.
That was good reflex.
Yeah, good one. Good save from John Stone. He hasn't given a good account of himself coming in, considering 3 goals already in the game. So it hasn't really been a game you would have expected. But that save is one of those saves that actually bring you back into the game and shows that yes, though I might have considered a lot of goals in this game, but the confidence and the level of level of play and awareness is still there. So good save from from Sam Johnston there. Let's see if we can actually keep them away from conceding more goals. Though I don't see that happening, but I still see more goals from Manchester United in this game. Probably one more goal in this game to kill the game at 4-0. 71 minutes of action already. Still Manchester United dominating the play on 100%.
Dominating from end to end. It now makes the second half looks more boring. The gaffer, you have something to say?
It's not that it's boring. It's not that they have done the job. And now what they need to do, just play the ball around, entertain the fans. And you can see the fans are responding. You asked the question about Casemiro earlier on, and I was trying to answer before there was a highlight moment, there. So, and you see, Casemiro has been consistent in the game, but there was a point, it's like he dropped. I don't know what actually went wrong, but he's back again. He's back again with the Casemiro we used to know. We saw that, in fact, he has scored even more than Rashford this season. Rashford, who is supposed to be...
He's yet to score.
He's yet to score. He has scored more than him. Casemiro scored 2 goals in the Champions League against Bayern Munich. You understand?
Yeah.
And he scored now again. I think this should be the 4th goal he has scored this season. But Rashford has not gotten anything.
I think 3rd goal.
At the end of the day, Rashford is still going to get amongst the goal. But, he's getting himself into a new formation because he needs to get into it. There are some players, I look at Rashford as a player that his decision making has to be, that is where the problem is for him. Because he's used to cutting in and taking shots. Right now, you're playing with a striker I'm talking about a striker like Ojlund, who gets into spaces.
And you can see Ojlund.
That is Ojlund coming in. And when you have a striker like Ojlund playing with you right now, and you know that you have to look up front to see if Ojlund is making the runnings, you have to make 2 decisions in your head. Am I to take a corner or shall I pass the ball? And right now is not the time of big confidence for Rashford, but he will still come in to be among the Manchester United. Very sure of that. He's a fantastic player on his own day. And talking about Casemiro today, this is a different Casemiro from last season. Last season he was playing more of defensive duty. He was doing more of defensive duty for Manchester United, freeing up Christian Eriksen to play more of the central midfield role to connect between the midfield and the attack. But now, in the first half, we saw
Iberechi in the box, tried to run in, and
you see that
cross went way off the bar and went to the other side of the field for a throw-in to Manchester United. And that was a good
run. Good movement from him there, but there was nobody to connect to that ball there. So still talking about Casemiro, last season...
And we can see Marshall being withdrawn for Ojlund.
And you can see the fans, they're so happy with his performance today. A good striker on his own day. I expect him to actually make that move away from Manchester United because he deserves to be starting if he can keep himself fit. He's still very young, so it's not really like he should be in his later, maybe probably 25, 26 by now. So he needs to be starting. If he plays for a big team, he'll be starting for another team. He'll actually be starting for a modest team.
He's actually 27 years.
27, yeah. So he's in the peak. He's currently in the peak of his career. If he's starting for if he's playing for a modest team, probably like maybe Brighton or so, he will be starting for teams like that. So probably should make that move away from Manchester United probably by January or come end of the season. Make that move and kickstart your career. That career actually needs to start right now. Because at Manchester United, he won't be starting. There's Ojlund, they spent a lot of money on that young player, and they'll actually want to, impute him into that team and make him start more in that team. So there's no way coming in for, for Bashir to start in that Manchester United team. And still talking about Casemiro, we saw a lot of freedom for Casemiro in tonight's game, moving from midfield to attack.
Yeah.
Wow. And now we have Van der Beek, this is a player I actually had a lot of expectations on, but he didn't live up to that expectations at Manchester United. Let's just see if he can actually redeem his image tonight.
Yeah, let's see if he can redeem his image. 93rd minute of the game between Juventus and Lecce. Juventus leading a goal to nil. 77th minute, Rome still leading 2-0. It's halftime in the game between Mallorca and Barcelona. Anytime from now, the second half will restart. And Barcelona is 2-1 down in that fixture. 63rd minute, Salzburg is a goal up in their cup game. And it's the 77th minute, and Manchester United are 3-0 up, comfortably running home with the victory. And if I'm going to, Shagun, if I'm going to let you predict, who do you, okay, maybe not predict, but your own take that, who do you feel you want Manchester United to meet in the next round?
Probably Brighton.
Brighton?
Yeah.
Oh, you already...
no, let's see out your team already, because your team is not looking like a team that might actually beat Brighton.
Our team?
It's not my team. I'm a Manchester City fan. I don't know why you keep on referring back to that Chelsea. Okay. But it's looking like I will actually fancy Manchester United Brighton, or Manchester United against Newcastle in the next round will actually be a big fixture, because we are moving into the quarterfinal. And we have to start seeing that feels of the final already.
Another move for Manchester United.
For Manchester United, what can they do with the ball? Oh, they're just enjoying themselves.
That was the wrong decision.
And the gaffer, who do you feel Manchester United should be meeting in the next round of the competition?
Wow. Well, it's a very wide, you have, I can't guess now, but...
not just your own feel, you feel, yeah. Not as if it's a prediction, but your own feel like, okay, I feel like Manchester United should be facing this opponent in the next round of the competition. You still need to think. Maybe while the gaffer is still thinking about it, the second half of the game between Mallorca and FC Barcelona just restarted, and I think Barcelona will be trying to rally up themselves and try to come back into this game, because it is very important for them to win this fixture. Well, the second half started, and there's no substitution yet, apart from the one that happened in the first half for Real Mallorca. So Barcelona is back, and let's see if they are actually back and running to win this game again. We can see a substitution for Crystal Palace. They are planning to make a substitution. But while that, there's a long throw from Klein, and it seems Manchester United have Crystal Palace where they want them to be.
Yeah, they already have them where they want to be. Right from the first half, after scoring those 2 goals, it's actually a game that is looking very much giving Manchester United a lot of confidence level in this game already. So they already have them where they want them to be, and 3 goes up at 79 minutes. There's no coming back.
That's 80 minutes.
80 minutes already. So there's no coming back for Crystal Palace. The only thing Crystal Palace might do in this game is keeping it, at a respectable level at that 3-0. So a lot of confidence for Manchester United.
Is there anything expectable about 3-0?
No, if they consider more goals.
Because if they didn't show up for this fixture, it will be 3-0.
It will be 3-0. It's still respectable for them. At least they came up and they considered 3-0. The way the first half started, it was looking like we are going to see a lot of goals in this game already. But at 3-0, if they can keep it this way to the end of the game, you have to give it for the caliber of players that started for Crystal Palace in this fixture. So let's see if they can keep it at 3-0 or Manchester United will score more goals. But I still expect a goal in this game from Manchester United because they've actually dominated. They've actually kept Crystal Palace at bay in this game. We didn't really see until when until when Eze came into this game. That's when we started seeing a lot of bites, from Crystal Palace. But I think this shouldn't deceive Manchester United because Saturday will actually be a different ball game between them and Crystal Palace. So I just hope they are not being deceived that defeating Crystal Palace here 3-0 in the Carabao Cup because they're still playing here at Old Trafford on Saturday. So they should actually be expecting a different ball game on Saturday because this Crystal Palace with their own first team, though not really to the standard of Manchester United, but they can actually eat you when you least expect.
And you can see the movement of Eberechi so far.
No, that guy is a fantastic
If he had started this game, we probably might have been talking about
we'll still be talking about Manchester United scoring 3 goals, but probably we'll have seen Crystal Palace scoring one or two goals in the first half. Because we didn't see any bite from them in the first half. That bite was absent.
But the best form of defense is attack. That explains why they have been under serious pressure.
That's a beautiful move by Manchester United. What a move. But
and that was well blocked. And we can see Lewandowski warming up on our screens. It seems Barcelona
are planning to bring him half because they need to get back into this game. You can't wait till 60 minutes to make that substitution. If you're bringing Lewandowski in around 60 minutes, you've actually wasted a lot of time and energy in the game. Why not just bring him early on in this game and let him get the equalizer, or you or your team getting the equalizer, so you can fight on for the next 40 minutes and get a winner. It's very much important for Barcelona to get that equalizer very, very early into this game. Because if they're waiting to the 60th or 70th minute to score that equalizer, it will actually be at their own detriment for them to get the winner in this game. So it's very much important.
So they really need to come back into the game.
Ferran Torres is not in this game, so there's no point in you playing with a striker who is off the game for much of the second half. We saw him for 45 minutes, couldn't bring any bite into the game, so there's no point. Just make that substitution early on, maybe like 50 to 55th minutes, make that substitution and bring Lewandowski. There's a fear factor when you're seeing a striker like Lewandowski against your defenders, so he can actually bring that bite, the hold up play, the movement, the awareness is there for him, and he can bring in players like João Felix to play at their own very best. So we've not seen João Felix much in this game because the understanding and the movement between him and Ferran Torres is absent in this game. So they need to make that substitution very early.
They need to make that substitution very early. And don't you think the gaffer, Lamine Yamal, don't you think he can have a good impression on this game if he's brought up?
Of course, he can have a good impression. He's a player. You call him at any time, any point in time. You come and show the stuff he's made up of. But Xavi, the coach, knows why he's not featuring him right now. And in the last match, he featured him in the second half too. And probably that's his plan. And when they came in,
and that was a good shot from Manchester United, but it was blocked. You can continue.
So when they came in, we saw the difference. They were able to equalize and also win the match. So we hope that he brings him in early. Probably when he's bringing in Lewandowski, also bring him, so that there will be that
synergy.
Yes, synergy from the right and from the left also. And he will be in the middle with João Felix. I think they'll be able to do the damage and get the victory.
Nights like this are the days I miss having the dog in the studio. There's a confidence level with the way the dog talks. When Barcelona are losing, we can come back in this game. I want to see. But when they are losing like this, you'll be so calm. Like, unlike when they are winning, whereby you see the brand.
Oh, 1-on-1 with Onana. That's another test for Onana. But
good save from
he came to the party.
That was wasted effort there. He should be doing better there. He should be doing better than that.
That was a good save from.
That was not a striker move at all. Look at that. That was not.
That first save was actually a good save from Onana.
It was a good save.
But the movement,
and you can see that pass from him.
The movement actually lost Metete there. He should have actually tried to get that ball and come into the infield, not you trying to go outside the defender. The movement actually let him down there because he moved himself. His body away from where he could have actually faced Onana one-on-one. So that is the difference there. Good one from him, good cover from Maguire there, and good save from Onana.
And don't you think Maguire is gradually becoming the Maguire we used to know?
Of course,
there's no way back for him in this Manchester United starting 11, because everybody look at Maguire, everybody watch Maguire games, expecting him to make those mistakes. So that is the difference.
And I think people have been fair to have not been fair
to
Maguire.
Because every Manchester United fans expect him to make a mistake,
and they forget his good performance.
When you come into the match and you're expecting your player to actually make mistakes, but you have to look at his psychological level. This guy is very strong.
He's strong mentally.
All the abuse mentally, he has been there. They even strip him of the captaincy, and he's still there, still playing like it's nothing. Yeah. So you have to give it to him for that level of mentality
and maturity.
It's actually an elite maturity level and elite mentality, which is actually very good for him. I do respect him for that.
Yeah, he deserves some respect for that. And I think going forward, don't you think Maguire should be looking for playing time elsewhere?
Yeah, we expected that move during the last window, but due to some breakdown, due to monetary aspects, he couldn't make that move to West Ham. I think it was on royalty level. That was where the breakdown happened. But I actually expect him, because at this age he should be starting, not you sitting on the bench. Because you have to look at what he brings to the game. If you're sitting on the bench,
and that's a good chance for Barcelona, but Rafinha couldn't get the pass.
So when you're sitting on the bench, it's not allowing the fans to see what he can actually bring to the game. So I actually expect him to make that move away from Manchester United, probably January or come end of the season, move elsewhere and get that starting shirt. Is very much important for him. Yeah,
the starting shirt is very, very important for him. Is the 88th minute of the game between Manchester United and Crystal Palace. Manchester United 3-0 up. And what better way to respond after the kind of season they have had than a clean sheet back-to-back, the gaffer?
Yeah. Clean sheet back-to-back will be good for their image, but it's not over yet until it is over. But it's looking so good already. And we all hope that Onana, first of all, it will boost Onana's image, and we saw him in the last match. He came out publicly and apologized.
And that was a good attempt from Joao Felix, and went straight to the bar. The keeper had no chance.
I think maybe probably in the training, Joao Felix is always doing trainings of hitting the bar, because we saw him hit a lot of bars at Chelsea last season. Good goal scoring chances that kept the goalkeepers, to his foot, but it actually they hit the bars a lot last season. And we've just seen it again in this game. Probably he does more of training whereby he hits the bar in training. Probably that is where we are. Good move from Manchester. And we can see
that was a good save from Justin.
And that should be a penalty.
No, there's no VAR here.
There's no VAR check. And that's another shot, but well saved by Johnston.
That's Johnston.
Johnston is actually proven to be a good replacement for Anderson. And 90th minute in the game between Lille and Reims. Reims leading that one 2-1. And Salzburg 76th minute 2-0 up in that game. Well, we can see that in the game between Mallorca versus FC Barcelona, it looks more like Lewandowski is preparing to actually come and have a taste of the action. Maybe it can be the savior that Barcelona desires.
It's very much needed to bring in Lewandowski at this point, because they're actually struggling to get a striker into that game. So it will be a good substitution withdrawing Ferran Torres. And it begs the question, Ferran Torres needs to get involved in games, because you can't really have Lewandowski playing every time or coming to the aid of Barcelona every time. You're still a young guy. You have to come into the game. You have just this season to actually impress, or probably by January, Manchester United, by January, Barcelona will be going out to look for a cheaper option up front. Maybe look for a striker they can loan from, like they know how to do, and get a loan in a striker into it. And probably that will push out, Ferran Torres out of the team. So these are the kind of time you need to start taking your chance. 45, 50 minutes into the game, we didn't see much from
And we
him.
can see
And
Barcelona
he's one
withdrawing Ferran Torres for Lewandowski.
There's nothing to really, write home about for his performance in this game tonight.
Yeah, Shagun said there's really nothing to write home about concerning Ferran Torres' performance. It seems he does better when he's brought on as a super sub.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he reads the game very well coming into the game from the substitution bench. And it's 90 minutes already. We're in the first minute of the 3 minutes additional time given in the game between Manchester United and Crystal Palace. Manchester United still 3-0 up. What a way to respond after so much criticism. Scoring 4 goals in 2 games and without conceding any, the gaffer.
That's a very good image builder for them, and it's good for their confidence. So we hope to see more of it. It's not just one Premier League and one Carabao Cup. We hope to see them in the Champions League bounce back when they will play the second leg, right?
Yeah.
Against
The second match.
the next match.
Second match.
So the next match. We see them. We hope to see them bounce back. And on Saturday again, they will be in action against Crystal Palace. Another test of the moment. We know Crystal Palace to be a very strong team. Probably, I don't know how serious they take the Carabao Cup, but people should be taking the Carabao Cup, despite the fact that the monetary aspect of it is not much, 100,000 pounds. But for featuring is 50,000 pounds each team. Despite the monetary aspect that is very low, we expect to see them play for pride and say, okay, yeah, we have played, we've won a trophy, and to also use it to build their team. So I hope to see Crystal Palace come back in full force when you have Eze, you have Olise, you have the top players in Crystal Palace. Edward come against Manchester United. We can say, okay,
we hope Anderson too.
Yeah.
Can make it back
again. We say they've really been tested. But
so
here,
I think that weekend fixture. You can stay tuned to us at Premier Sport Fans Channel for the game this weekend, Manchester United Crystal Palace. It will be like a revenge plan for a revenge mission for Crystal Palace at the Theatre of Dreams. Maybe Manchester United will be able to dream again, or maybe their dream will be shattered at the Theatre of Dreams. Only time will tell. Stay tuned to us this weekend, our watch-along show. Honestly, if you miss it, you are missing a whole lot. Remember, you can still join the conversation on our live chat, and we'll read it out here. And you can, please, very, very important, so that you can get a notification from us when we come on live shows like this, and when we have some materials that is useful for you posted on our channels. You can actually view some of our former videos that we have posted before. So don't forget to subscribe. Tell somebody to subscribe. This is your favorite sports channel. And please don't leave us hanging. And the game between Manchester United and Crystal Palace has just come to an end. It's 3-0 in favor of Manchester United. And Shagun, your final take on the game.
Easy ride for Manchester United. They did what was necessary and needed of them in the first half. Getting those 2 goals early on in the first half was actually very much necessary for them to actually reduce a lot of pressure on them in this game. And getting that third goal in the second half was actually the icing on the cake for the Manchester United team. Good boost for them going into the next game. And you can see Onana, you can see that morale booster. He's so happy. Back-to-back clean sheet for that young man after a lot of criticism. So these are things that actually boost his confidence. And don't forget they are without their captain, talking about Bruno Fernandes in this game. So coming into the weekend game against Crystal Palace will be another Manchester United team. But fantastic game for Manchester United. Good account. They gave a good account of themselves in this game. So we are all looking forward to the Saturday fixture between Manchester United and Crystal Palace in the league. But I expect a different ball game from them.
Yeah, the gaffer, your final take?
Yeah, my final take. I'm happy for Ten Hag. It's like it's becoming a disappointing situation for him. No recording victories, in the previous matches. And I think with the match against Burnley and Crystal Palace today, I think 2 victories back-to-back is good for him, and it's good for Manchester United also, because a lot of when we go hear fans talking they complain about Manchester United and Chelsea, but we can see Manchester United gradually resurrecting back to life. But we just hope that Chelsea also resurrect because they've not recorded victory after their last victory against Luton Town. They've not actually won any reasonable match. So, but we are seeing Manchester United already waking up from their sleep. So we hope to see Chelsea also wake up from their sleep to be winning matches.
And in the game between Mallorca and Real Madrid, you can see Lamine Yamal preparing to come up into this fixture. Let us hope he can bring the desired bite. And that will be our offering for today. You will get the update of the Barcelona match later on in the tonight from our channel and on our bulletin. That's the much we can take for the show today. Shagun, thanks for coming along.
It's a pleasure.
And the Gaffer, thanks also for coming along.
Yes,
and from me, Adeyemi, your host today, and my production crew, it will be a good night to rest and sweet dreams. And don't forget to join us tomorrow because we will be live for the other round of fixtures from the English Football League and other La Liga matches coming up too, and some Serie A meals coming to our dining table. So it's a good night and God bless you.